Tim, Jacob.
Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Gourmet Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is football season. Ready to watch this Packers-Lions matchup at Lambeau Field in about, a little more than an hour. I am so freaking excited. Welcome into PTA. My name's Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Jacob in Wisconsin. We got Emilio in Tennessee. Here to break everything down and take you right up to kickoff. If you guys would, let's do that YouTube stuff real quick. Get that out of the way. Hit that like button for us. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure you click the bell icon so you're notified every time we do go live. If you're new here, thank you for making us a part of your pregame festivities. And if you like this type of content, get used to it. We'll be doing this every single game this season, as well as a post-game show immediately following each game. So, gents, let's go around the horn once here. How are we feeling about this game? Jacob, we need to hear the noise. All right, give us the noise for the first time in the 2025 NFL season.
I feel pretty good, but the stomach is a-bubbling. The nerves are a-racking, and I just want to get this going because, I think I saw somebody else, maybe Jen in there, said that she's been up way too long already today. I was up at 4 a.m., have not went back to bed. I am ready to go. How about you, Emilio?
Dude, I don't even know. I'm too excited at this point. I went to bed actually a little early last night just so I could be rested for the day because, man, it's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a dandy, man. So I started pregame in Tennessee game yesterday, the Tennessee Vols game at 8:30 in the morning, and the kickoff wasn't until 3:30. So I'm getting old, boys. I'm just telling you that right now. All day long, I've just been kind of rolling around on the floor here at the house trying to recover. But here we are, and now we're to the main event. Obviously, that was a slobber knocker out there. As I think UT beat ETSU 72-16 or something crazy. But nonetheless, man, this one here, I think it's going to be a little bit closer, gents. I really do. We'll see how it shakes out. We do have the actives and inactives already as the pterodactyls are flying here in the studio. So, good news. Micah Parsons is officially active along with Jaden Reed, Dontavion Wicks, and Savion Williams. That's great news, obviously, for the offense. And you need to get Micah Parsons out there. Will he just play pass rushing situations? Will they actually throw him in on the base sets as well? He led the league last year in pressures on first and second down. So I'm hoping they do get him out there on a fairly consistent basis. I want to see him get somewhere between, at least 40% of the defensive snaps, possibly upwards of 65 to 70% of the snaps I'd be good with as well. So as Emilio's trying to do his best Tim impersonation.
65%.
65%. That's what we appreciate that, buddy. So inactives, here's the bad news. Nate Hobbs, Zane Anderson, Donovan Jennings, Ben Sims, Warren Brinson, and Barron Sorrell. I don't think there's any surprise here, right, guys? Like we were talking about Nate Hobbs earlier in the week, and we went from there's no way he's playing to I don't know, he might play, and now we're back to him being inactive. I think this is the right move, but let's just go around the horn with it real quick. We'll start with you, Jacob. What do you think about the actives, inactives here, man? Are you concerned? What sticks out to you? And I'll continue to comb through social media and see if we can get some updates.
No, this isn't a very big surprise. Like you mentioned, we kind of were flirting with the idea of maybe Hobbs not playing. I think me and Emilio both were on the same page saying if there's even a hint of him having to re-aggravate that thing, let's just give him one more week. We're going to be coming back around in the short week on Thursday night against the Commandos. And I don't know. To me, it's like I'm willing to go with the guys that have been practicing, getting game speed, all that kind of stuff. Just to throw Hobbs in there, I think would be honestly a little bit unfair to him, just expecting him to just, without basically no practice for the last month plus to just throw him into the mix, I think would be a little bit unfair for him. What do you think about that? And as far as the other ones, I'd say Brinson maybe would be the only one I'm a little bit surprised about. I think Zane's still getting healthy. The other 3-4 sounds like more of like a healthy scratch minus probably Sorrell getting healthy. What do you think, Emilio?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was kind of where my thought was earlier in the week was, pretty much everybody on offense and Mike is going to play. Let's rest of the defense is probably going to be rest. And the video we saw from Nate Hobbs earlier in the week doing, quarter speed, and then he went to maybe half speed, 3/4 speed. There's no point in putting him out there right now. I'm glad that they kind of just let him ease into it. We have enough secondary, and we have a lot of fast linebackers if we need to stay in base longer. So I think that's something we can handle. But yeah, what excites me is, one, Savion being ready, or at least being, active, and two, Mr. Home Depot going to get a shot probably here and there with Zane being out. And, let's look for him. Let's see who's going to be on punt coverage, who's going to be the personal protector, things like that, just to kind of keep an eye out for that. Zane kind of filled in those normally.
Yeah. Love it. And, I guess the big question for me, guys, is, again, we talked about Micah Parsons. How much will he play today? Will they just throw him out there and let him run as if this is the rest of the season, right? Or do you think they'll hold him back a little bit? What would you like to see with Micah Parsons in that regard? Would you rather them kind of, let's hold him back a touch, or just say, hey, let's give him as much or as many snaps, maybe more snaps even, than Rashawn Gary got last year as the leading edge defender?
I mean, personally, I kind of want it to be dictated by what's going on in the game. I don't want us to maybe throw him out there if it's not – if we go out in a boat race and we're up like 3 scores at halftime, I really don't need to see much of Micah Parsons in the second half, if that makes sense. But if it's kind of a neck and neck game, and, I would maybe want to see him more on 3rd and longs and more end of the stuff, like try to keep some juice in the tank for the end of the game kind of thing. But that being said, if he comes out and he's firing on all cylinders and looks great, I don't want to, cap. I'm sure that Micah Parsons, of all people, doesn't want to be capped if he doesn't need to be. So what are your thoughts, Emilio?
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I'd rather kind of keep him on a snap count this week. I would say max, 25, 30 if we're really pushing it. But, like I said, I'm just worried about his endurance. He's physically in shape. It's just, is he going to get winded? So if we want to bring him out on third and longs, that's fine. If he wants to, run out there for a couple of edge setting, 1st, 2nd downs, perfect. And you got to get him through, where he feels comfortable, and let's just keep moving. We don't need to dish everything out here right away.
Yeah. And the inactives for the Detroit Lions are Thomas Harper, safety, Sion Baki, running back, Trevor Nowalski, I think I'm saying it right, linebacker, Chris Smith, defensive lineman, Mekhi Wingo, defensive lineman, and Tyrus Wheat, defensive lineman. Guys, that's not including their other defensive tackles, other 2 defensive tackles that are already on IR or PUP. So, I mean, they're pretty thin at defensive line. There's no 2 ways about that. Anything you guys want to add to the Detroit Lions injury report here?
Yeah, it looks like Tesla cleared. I think that was an illness he was dealing with. That was probably the only one that I thought could maybe impact the game, really. But like you said, just the lack of depth at the D-line can't help but be noticed.
Running between the tackles is going to be key this early.
Get her done.
Yeah, definitely. And I think if I were to jump on the Detroit Lions side and say, all right, what would be my keys to victory for them? They got to run the ball, man. You need to really test this interior of the Packers defensive line without Kenny Clark and see if you can establish the run, right? I feel pretty confident that we can handle the run because we finished 2nd in the league last year, right? And again, what did Kenny do? He basically played touch spy and controlled 2 gaps. They're out of the A gap, out of the 1 tech, if you will. So if that's how you're going to approach it, and obviously with Warren Brinson not being active for the Packers, that tells me Nas Stackhouse probably going to get some meaningful reps, I would imagine, as well. Yeah. And you remember in training camp, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but by the end of training camp, we kind of felt like Stackhouse had passed Warren Brinson on the depth chart too. So I know he's going to be nose tackle. People say that as if we always have a nose tackle on the field every single play, and the reality is it's just about 20 to 25% of the snaps you got one of those true traditional nose tackles on the field. But if that's the case, throw him in that 1 tech out of the nickel 4-2-5 if you don't feel comfortable with what Carl Brooks can do there. You know what I'm saying, Emilio? Like maybe we see more Nas Stackhouse than we expected now that Warren Brinson's inactive today.
Right. Yeah. And then maybe you just feel more comfortable with him being in there in that situation. Maybe you're looking for a little bit more 4 looks and not walking up the back. Or, you never know. You're trying to stop their run game, but also the pass games. I'm all right with it. Let's see what Stack's got. And if it's an early game and he struggles, fine. We get Brinson to come right back out there next week, and you can kind of just rotate him. same, you got Ben Sims out, but it seems like it's more just kind of like a roster spot that you needed more than anything.
Yeah, and it's 2-0 for this, says here in the chat. Cowboy Michael Myers is going to destroy today. As you see Edgerrin Cooper, Jacob, walking into the stadium, got the chaps on, got the dinner plate belt buckle. We're good to go, man. Sweet hat, too, by the way. Love he's got the Christian cross showing there with a couple buttons undone. Oh, you can appreciate it when you got a couple buttons undone there, right? Right, Jacob?
Oh, yeah. You got to show off the hamburger meat, as they say. And, yeah, he's definitely looking like what's that movie, 8 Seconds? Is that the Bull Rider one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that he looks
like
the part.
Out there.
Yeah. Certain guys could pull off that look. He's pulling that off. And
I could probably pull that off, Jacob.
Definitely could, but that's the Mexicanity in you.
Denim.
Everywhere that I went with Emilio, whether it was to dinner at a really nice restaurant in Green Bay, Wisconsin, or to the Redneck Brawl, he's always got the cowboy boots on. Which is hilarious. People hear this pod, they hear my accent, and they probably think I'm wearing the cowboy boots, right? I'm the one with the white Air Force One.
Yeah. He's over there sitting there buffing them in the corner.
Right.
You know what's weird? I have those chaps. I just wear them.
Yeah. You just wear them Thursday through Sunday. That's it.
That must be the tip heavy days, right? If you guys would, please hit that like button, hit subscribe, and feel free to sub to the channel. Click that bell icon so you're notified every time we go live, including tonight when we do the post-game show immediately following. I know we got a bunch of people in here, and we truly, truly appreciate you making us part of your pregame festivities. What kind of days Edgerrin Cooper going to have, gang? Since we got it on the screen here, obviously this dude is becoming a fan favorite. I don't know if you've seen his IG story. Matter of fact, I'll try to pull it up for you guys. But what do y'all think Cooper's going to do today?
I mean,
what is he not going to do, right, Jacob? I mean,
realistically, I could see him with 8 tackles. I want a sack, maybe a PBU. Honestly, I expect him to have a good day. I really do.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I was going to say 5 tackles, at least 1 for a loss, and let's get a pass breakup there. So we're about the same. But yeah, you're going to ask them to do a lot. We're going to see Quay and Coop starting together. Second time they've ever actually started a game, you would think, together. Let's kind of see what that combo can do. We're going to be in nickel a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And again, here's the IG story that Edgerrin Cooper put out earlier today, the Michael Myers. I love it. He does no caption with it at all when he does this. It's just a picture of Michael Myers, right? This dude's so much fun to root for. He is. And again, if they start to move him around a little bit, if they decide to come out in a nickel 4-2-5 and throw him at like a 7 or a 9 tech on one side of the line of scrimmage, and they've got to focus on Micah Parsons on the opposite side. And then you got Rashawn Gary kicked into anywhere from a 5 to a 3 tech. Man, that's going to get really, really interesting on what this offensive line's got to do to protect Jared Goff. And again, I think this is going to be a close one, guys. The line shifted when we traded for Micah Parsons. It shifted to 2.5-point favorites for the Packers. To the best of my knowledge, most markets have it back to a 1.5. This is going to be a put. This is going to be literally one of those games where it's a pick-em game. I like to tease the betting line every now and again. Not that kind of tease, Jacob, not like in the club. I like to tease the line a little bit, like, if it's sitting at 2.5 points, all right, tease it to 3.5, right? That type of thing. That way, if your team, whoever you pick, they lose by 3, you still win the bet type thing. But when it's at 1.5, it's like, man, this thing, they're trying to keep that money as even Steven as possible. So it's going to come down to the wire. We talked about Savion Williams, right? I hope he is going to be the jet sweep guy today with Jaden Reed a little banged up, right? Throw Savion in there and get him a couple touches. Who knows? Maybe throw him back there in the pony package as well. I just have a hard time convincing myself that they're going to go too all in on Savion early, even though he's a 3rd-round pick. Emilio, he missed a ton of camp, right?
Yeah,
like he missed a lot of time. I have a hard time believing he could just jump in there and not miss a beat. You know what I mean?
I was thinking, maybe he's at 50-60% of the playbook locked in, hopefully closer to, 70-80, but it's more of the timing issue would be my thing. I mean, obviously you can probably run a quick touch pass and not have too much of a timing issue. But if you got like delayed out routes, different breaks, I just want him to have all of that stuff. So I would think that you could get him the ball on a jet sweep or a touch pass, but let's also maybe like you were saying, bring him into pony package. Let's just keep it simple. Maybe get Tucker Kraft out there on the swing. You got a swing pass to Savion on one side with Tucker leading, and then maybe you have a little flat route by the running back on the other side, Matthew Golden. little hook curl dagger, something like that. You can kind of work it, but you don't need to leave it only up to him. Let's have a couple options.
Talking about working it, Jacob. I thought he was going to break the little Missy Elliott out there on us, man, for a second. You know what I'm saying? Break out I know you got that in the 6th CD changer from 1998.
For sure, absolutely. As long as I don't hit too many bumps in the road, it doesn't get scratched up, we're good.
Man, I tell you, the old days, Jacob. I know you know what I'm talking about, man. How many times you had to smack the dash because that CD kept skipping on loop, right? You had to give it the old jolt, the old college try.
I was more ghetto than that, dude. I brought the portable disc player that you had to put the cassette in. That way, you hit anti-skip on the portable seat. That's a hack right there, fellas. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, that's when the ladies knew they were not dealing with the broke one, man.
Mm-hmm.
When they looked over and see the anti-skip, and Jacob, it didn't work. It always skipped anyway, did it not, man?
No, I'll never again. I don't think kids these days will know what it's like to take the time to burn a CD for your lady friend, give it to her.
Oh yeah,
you
want to show that you're truly committed in a relationship, right? That's how that's done for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you who's committed to this Packers team. It's this guy right here. And I love this little glance that QB1 gives to the camera here at the last second. You'll notice it right there. If you pause it just right, I think we got our next meme.
Put
right
that
there.
name in my mouth right there.
That's what we need right there for the show. What kind of day do y'all think J-Love's going to have today against the Detroit Lions defense? Now, is Aiden Hutchinson going to be as effective, Jacob, as he was before the injury? Are they going to be missing those two interior defensive linemen? We talked about Davenport, opposite side, high draft pick. However, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. I can't even remember how many games he's played in the last 2 years. What do you think? What do you think Jordan Love's going to do today, or do you think the answer to the equation maybe just to lean on Josh Jacobs a little bit?
I'm going back and forth on that. I would like to lean on Josh Jacobs heavy. It's 126, I believe, yards for him to become the third fastest player to 7,000 yards in the modern era. And he did that interview sit down with Kay Adams where she asked him point blank, is this something we need to bring up to Matt LaFleur? And he said basically it'll be known kind of thing. So I'm sure that they have had some conversations about it. That would mean, too, that the Lions probably maybe saw that interview as well and maybe have a different thought about that. So if we are forced to maybe go through the air a little bit, I expect Jordan Love not to come out rusty per se, but to maybe take a quarter or two to settle in and then maybe unleash a little bit more rhythm. Try to, like Amelia was talking about, get back on that timing schedule with his receivers. But all in all, I expect Jordan to have a decent day today. And if he comes in firing on all cylinders, we could have ourselves a pretty – I don't want to say a boat race, but if he comes out firing, we could have ourselves a very enjoyable afternoon.
Yeah, Emilio 2-0 for this says 542 yards and 6 tutters.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I need some of that.
That's what happened when I simmed it on easy, and then I just had to – I went back, and I really should do it real quick in between the games, see if I can't get it simmed up, see what Madden says for us so we can get everybody an updated number. But, yeah, I would – it's got to be over 200 for Jordan, 2 touchdowns, and then if a run games takes off, we're good. I'd be fine with, anything over 200, 250 would be perfect. 2 touchdowns, get Josh Jacobs 1, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe the D gets a turnover and something like that.
Yeah, for me, it's all about protecting that football. And I know you guys get tired of hearing it, but it's so important, so vital to getting a dub, especially especially on the road. But even if you're at home, man, you've got to protect the football. You got to win that turnover differential for sure. Michael A. Smith says, Love 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. That sounds a little more realistic than 2-0 for this. Although I would love if 2-0 for this was correct in his prediction there. And we got some live shots from inside Lambeau. This is from our buddy Big B. Make sure you go give him a follow over on X at Big Packers 4X. As you see, he gives you a live shot of the crowd here inside Lambeau. Looking beautiful, man. You got just enough cloud cover. It's kind of partly cloudy. You see that blue sky occasionally. You're going to see the sun pop out a couple times. We're looking at like low to mid 60s. I don't know, somewhere between 7 to 10 mile an hour winds. Perfect football weather. There's no doubt about that. So, let me ask you guys this. We talked about Jordan Love, right? We talked a little bit about Savion Williams, obviously Micah Parsons, what the defense is looking to do. If you had to put a successful number on Josh Jacobs today, what would it take from Josh Jacobs? Jacob, we keep talking about how it's so important to get the run game going, keep it going, and don't back yourself into a corner where you got to throw the ball all over the yard to try to win the ball game. What do you think would be a realistic or a reasonable number to say, all right, I want Josh Jacobs to have this many carries, this many yards, And you can throw touchdowns in there if you want as well. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I believe that last year, I think the minimum rushes or attempts that he needed to get 100 yards, I think was like 23 to 25, something like that. So I would like to see somewhere, between the 23 to 26 range, just really feed him the ball, try to get it in his hands, but don't force feed it. If it's not working, I don't want to just keep, beating our heads against the wall kind of thing. But it would be, in my opinion, to start out and try to run that ball. It's perfect weather. I just think that to get Love eased into that, not force him to use that hand too often if it's uncomfortable, which again, maybe that would mean not running it as often, because if the exchange is a little bit difficult for him, that's another thing to think about. But it just feels like fall's in the air. It's football weather. I think it just means that Josh Jacobs needs to eat. But I'm seeing people saying 100 yards, 30. If we give him 30 carries, I find it hard to believe that we wouldn't have north of 126.
I completely agree with that. What do you think, Emilio? What would be a good number, a good round number for Josh Jacobs? I tell you, a perfect number for me would be get out to an early lead, and I want to see Emmanuel Wilson get more carries than Josh Jacobs. You know what I mean? Let's boat race these fools, get Josh Jacobs out of the lineup. I don't think that's going to happen, obviously, but what do you think here, realistic, and what it would take for the Packers to be successful for Josh Jacobs' stat line?
Yeah, if he breaks out, and I mean, if we can get him that 126, perfect to get him to the shortest time. But I'd be happy with anything over 75 to 100 yards if we can get him a touchdown, and then you're churning it out, probably rotating in the other backs, like you said. Let's get Emmanuel in there. But I'd like the offense to be close to half and half. I don't want us to be 70-30 pass to run. We need to kind of keep it even, try to keep the game close. The issues last game, the previous couple of times we played the Lions, is we've just gotten behind and haven't put up a touchdown on the board until basically the second half. Like we're getting down 20-3, 20-0. So it's something that we need to kind of come out fast. You heard Jay Love talking about, let's get Mike out there, the defense out there first, get him a stop. Crowd's going crazy. You kind of speak it into existence. Offense goes down on those scripted plays and gets it done. But I think that we really just kind of need to start the offense off fast. If it's Jay Love throwing a touchdown or Josh Jacobs taking it to the house, I'm good with either.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers with the super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you. He says, let's finish this great weekend with the dub. It's finally game day. Go Pack, go. Amen, amen, amen. Thank you for the super chat, Aaron. Appreciate you so much, everybody. So another player that was down on the field just a few minutes ago is a guy I feel like, believe it or not, it's going under the radar this year, man. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but Xavier McKinney, I mean, you're talking about a guy that he dominated last year, Jacob. Absolutely dominated. And all we've been talking about is Micah Parsons, all the negative aspect of the Green Bay sports media has talked about is we didn't have a pass rush and all this, garbage. And you look up and it's like, I just don't think enough people are talking about what Xavier McKinney did with this defense. And now that he's got Micah Parsons down there rushing the ball out of the quarterback's hand a lot faster, Gary completely healthy, obviously. You're going to have Devontae White, who's one of the better pass rushing defensive tackles. And I want to say this. People who have been clamoring for Christian Wilkins, I could not disagree more. Yeah. You got a guy who pretty much got kicked off the team for doing weird stuff, right? There's videos of him all over the field, sticking his hand where it don't belong on opponents and all kinds of just really, really strange stuff. And then you look up, he obviously signed that huge contract, and they said, you know what, we're better off without him. They cut him loose. And then you look on our side of the field, Jacob, you got Devontae White, right, who has just done nothing but kept his nose clean, kept his head down, been a very effective pass rusher when he was healthy last year. Once he got the ankle injury, obviously it's something that he wasn't really the same player. But not just that, you kind of missed him in the second half of the season. That's one of the reasons why you hear stats like his pressure rate on true pass sets was in the 90th percentile amongst interior defensive linemen. Although you look up and go, he don't have a whole lot of stats. That's one of the reasons why. But again, Xavier McKinney, man, as a takeaway machine, I feel like he's the captain of the defense. That's me personally. And I think he's the kind of quiet leader who's just going to go, you know what, Micah, you go to the front, be in the limelight. I'm going to stay in the shadows and make play after play.
Yeah, I mean, ever since he's got here, he's just been nothing but an absolute pro, locker room guy, community guy. But more importantly, I think, like you highlighted, he's a team leader. I think I saw somebody in the comments say that he's going to be a captain today, and he thought that he may be a permanent captain for the season. I'm not sure if that's true, but if so, he deserves it 100%. Like you said, it's going to be really amazing to watch how he orchestrates this defense Now, like you said, obviously the Parkins addition is going to be massive, but like you said, having Quay and Cooper on the field at the same time, having a healthy safety room at the same time, having corners he can trust at the same time, having a pass rush that is going to be far and away better than it was last year. And even though at the end of last year it was in spots pretty darn good. So I think that now when this all is put together and he has that massive amount of blue chip talent on the field at the same time, and he's the one kind of pulling the strings, I think, like you said, the unsung hero is probably going to be calling some coverages, some plays, some formations that maybe we don't even know about until it's over and done with. And I don't think that he's the type of guy that's going to want the flowers. He just wants the team to win, and that's why we love him, right?
Yeah. What do you think, Emilio? Xavier McKinney, you feel like he's flying under the radar, or is it just me, man?
Here's a guy
that has just kept that secondary room together, right? He's teaching the young guys what's going on. He's kind of the glue that's holding it all there. Yeah, if he gets 8 picks again this season, we're cruising. If he just plays good ball and, kind of forces everybody underneath, if they're scared to throw it his way because of X, that's all I need from the man. If we can force turnovers, perfect. But you'd rather be a threat, just scaring the offense, not going your way. If you have that threat on the D-line and Micah, if you have that threat in the secondary, where are you going to try to fit this thing to gain yardage on this defense? I'm kind of excited to see what our best part of our defense and our offense is going to be. And then after the game, all right, where were we lacking? Where could a problem arise throughout the season? Maybe we can kind of run that down and see where, we might have an issue, but you're never going to know that until you get out there and play some games.
Absolutely. And go ahead, Jacob. You want to hit that if you put that up there? I don't know if you did or not.
Yeah, Coach Lund just saying with Kenny gone, X is for sure the leader of the defense. I think I agree with that. Maybe him and Gary are probably co-leaders there, I would say.
Yeah, completely agree with that too, man, for sure. So seeing a lot of people commenting about Aaron Rodgers in the comments section. So for those of you who don't know, the Jets the Steelers are beating the Jets now. They are leading them. If I could find the score here, I know I just
31-26.
It is 31-26. That's really weird that it's not on here. Yes. So and he is. It sounds like he's on fire. I think he's got 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. So going to be really, really cool to see. And I don't know how you guys feel about it. And I think the fan base is somewhat mixed on that whole storyline. But I'm rooting for Aaron. I tell you what, I'd love to see is Packers Steelers in the Super Bowl, and the Packers just absolutely boat race them. But how electric would that be? Aaron Rodgers, one of the all-time Packer greats, leads the Steelers to the Super Bowl, faces his former team, and then his understudy Jordan Love just absolutely takes it to him.
And the Super Bowl win that he had in 2010 against the Steelers just all comes full circle. He flips teams, brings them back 15 years later.
Yes.
Yeah, the NFL would eat that up. They'd take that storyline and run with that thing.
Yeah, no doubt.
That'd be
what do you
amazing.
think, Jacob? Would you rather see Aaron fall on his face, or would you rather see the Pittsburgh Steelers have success?
I'd like to see him have a successful season up until the point they play us in the regular season, and then once again in that Super Bowl rematch where, all of that, the coming home, the Steelers rematch, the fact that Jordan Love would be 27 the same year that Brett and Rodgers won in their 27th birthday year. They won the Super Bowl. It just all fits, man. I'm gonna talk to the script writers and see if I can sure that they
definitely should
put that in there. Yeah.
And we're keeping our eyes on any other news that may come out of Lambeau. We'll continue to throw it up on the screen. But let's just go around the league real quick. That sound good, fellas? Just kind of get an update on some of the scores. So obviously the Packers going to be kicking off here. And what do we got? Roughly a little less than an hour now, right? But going around the NFL in the fourth quarter, 11 minutes left. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are leading the Atlanta Falcons 17-13. You got the Cincinnati Bengals with 9 minutes left in the game, leading the Cleveland Browns 17-16. You got the Indianapolis Colts. I don't mean to laugh, but it is funny. Absolutely boat racing the Miami Dolphins 30-8 at home. There's only 4 minutes left in that game, roughly. You got the Raiders beating the Patriots with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're winning that game 17-10, the Raiders are. And then you got the Arizona Cardinals leading the New Orleans Saints 20-10 with 8 minutes left in the game. And then there's the game we were just talking about. The Steelers are leading 31-26. However, the Jets do have the football, and they are driving. They are well within field goal range. Obviously, need 5 points to. They're trailing by 5 points, so a tutter is what they're going to try to get out of it.
Did you like how they were kind of running their offense there, Clay? Like with a little bit more read option. The Jets staying a little bit run heavy, a little read option. Having Justin Fields do what he's good at.
Yeah, and here's the thing about that zone read, though, man. What I noticed with the Steelers, and this was really cool, there's a couple of different ways that you can attack the zone read, the read option. You can attack the mesh point, right? Or you can kind of play it conservative, right, and make them choose there. What I noticed with the Steelers is they designated two defenders on the QB side, okay? And what they did was have one attack the mesh point, they have one stay back and the other attack the mesh point or go after the running back. So as they go after the running back, they're going, okay, the quarterback's reading that. Okay, he crashed. Let me pull it and run it myself. And he looks up and there's a defender right in his face.
Right, because Fields is looking at TJ Watt that whole time, right? And they told TJ Watt, all right, you're crashing on the running back. Perfect. I'm holding A that whole time. I'm yanking that thing out of the buck. I'm running. You got Wilson, right? Patrick Wilson loop around the corner, and you just eat him up. So it's you kind of see it. I'm glad we're not going to be running the read option that much, but just keeping them honest, keeping TJ Watt honest. It's a good thing to kind of have in the back of your head of what a possibility.
Yeah. Completely agree, man. And again, so that's why you've seen some of those zone reads. People were like, "Oh, Justin Fields made the wrong read there." No, he made the right read. They've just got two defenders over there, and the reality is, you can do that against Justin Fields because he's not going to light you up through the air, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. However, if you were playing Lamar Jackson or someone like that who can spin that sucker, you need that extra defender back in pass coverage. You know what I mean?
Well, think about it. They've gotten this out on tape now. Maybe next week they add in a little bit more RPO, where you're looking downfield to a bubble or a quick slant right behind him. That way, if that linebacker's crashing, you could still hit a quick slant right behind his ear. You get your 8 yards and go.
Definitely. And you see here with Justin Fields' stat line, he's 14 of 17, 206 and a touchdown. He's taken advantage of the fact that they are dedicating, they are, allocating two defenders just for that zone read. So it's obvious he is dicing them up down the field. But you see here, Breece Hall running the football, 17 carries for 140 yards. But again, back to Aaron Rodgers' stat line, 17 of 23, 229, 4 touchdowns. He has been sacked 3 times. Justin Fields hasn't taken a sack yet. Garrett Wilson's still that dude, 7 catches for 95 yards, and DK Metcalf having a pretty good debut there, 3 for 72. Jacob, when you see DK Metcalf's stat line, and we know that the Packers were kind of in those trade talks for DK Metcalf, what do you think would be a successful day for Matthew Golden today for the Packers? Obviously, we chose to steer away from going and getting DK Metcalf, paying him top dollar, giving up that draft capital. Again, if we had done that, you wouldn't have Micah Parsons. You guys know I see edge as far, far more important than wide receiver. So really the trade-off is you get Matthew Golden in the first round as opposed to having DK Metcalf. What do you think would be, all right, if Matthew Golden does this today in terms of catch and yardage, what do you think would be a good day for him today? You're muted, brother.
Yeah, Jacob, come on, bud.
Personally, I think that he's going to have, I would say, at least 5 or 6 targets. I'd hope that he'd catch 4 or 5 of those balls, maybe around 70 yards, and I honestly would expect a touchdown. If you go off of what I believe Prize Picks has him at, I think his over-under right now is 50 yards. So I would easily kind of take the over on that, in my opinion. And I want to say that they only had him for like 2.5 or 3.5 receptions. So I personally expect him to kind of shatter that. There's just nothing that he's shown in his progression that this game's going to be too big for him. I haven't seen any nerves. I haven't seen any inconsistencies. I mean, even guys like, I think it was Willie and Tausch or maybe Herman or something was saying, or just Domofsky said, I've not seen him drop a single ball all offseason, all OTAs, like preseason, nothing. The guy's just been absolutely nearly perfect. And I look for that to continue this week.
Yeah, definitely. Jake O said he wants to see 6 catches, 77 to 100 yards, and a touchdown. That's pretty lofty goal there, Amelia. What do you think would be realistic for Matthew Golden?
Yeah, that's lofty. I mean, shoot, if you're asking for the best outcome, give me what Garrett Wilson just had, right? What was it, 76 yards, something like that, a touchdown, couple catches. But, if anything over 50, like we said, can he get to where's he going to be in the first quarter of the season? I think we were talking about 250, 300 yards. You got to get a chunk of that now to start to try to chase that. But I think he's kind of got that. I think Matt's going to look for him to try to get some of those plays opened up for him. And then Jay Love just needs to deal. He just needs to, stay cool, confident behind that old line. Hopefully they build a nice wall and protect that man, because we need to keep him upright as long as possible this season.
Yeah, Jaco, again, man, I hope you're correct, buddy. If Matthew Golden goes out there and has somewhere between 80 to 100 yards and a touchdown, woo, I'm going to be over the moon, man. I hope you're right. H.E. Solder says, I don't have Golden in fantasy football. Feed Dobbs. So there you go. He wants to see some more Dobby. And then the important question here from Greg Rice says, how badly is Jacob losing in fantasy football today? Jacob, you want to give us an update on your team, sir?
It's pretty bad. Bates is cooking. I'll just say this. I'm nearly getting beat right now by almost 100 points. So it's going pretty good. We are back, baby. Football is back.
I can't pile on too much, because that would be my fantasy football team if I was playing. So I promise you that.
My bench is crushing it, though. You guys would be real proud.
Hey, that doesn't count. So if you guys would, I know we got a bunch of people in here. Please do us a favor. Hit that like, hit subscribe, click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live. Thank you all for making us a part of your pregame festivity here. And on to some more scores across the league. You got the Washington Commanders are leading the New York Football Giants with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Commanders are leading 14-6. The Jacksonville Jaguars are leading the Carolina Panthers 17-3 at home, and that's about to hit halftime there. So that's just kind of a little around the league, give you guys an update on what's going on. Now, I will say this about this Commanders game, boys. The fact that the Giants have got damn near to a one-score game here, right? Or actually, it is a one-score game, including the two-point conversion. Does that make y'all feel a little more comfortable about that matchup we got off a short week coming up here on Thursday, Amelia? What do you think? Do you think the Commanders will improve this year? Do you think they'll take a step back? Or do you think they'll be about what we've seen last year? What do you think? As you see Jaden Daniels, 16-26, 188 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. He has been sacked 3 times. Maybe that's the cheat code there.
I was just going to say, I think that's going to be kind of our key, is how much tape can you get on Jaden Daniels to make it so that you have an idea on where he was last year. You maybe get a little sophomore slump out of him. But, 3 sacks, 21 yards versus, Russell took 2 for 11. You're taking yourself out of a good down and distance when you have those kind of sacks, and keeping them under 200 yards. That's perfect. You're not going to stop him from throwing the ball everywhere. You got to keep an eye on McLaurin. I saw that one. It was like a 3rd down and 15 or something, and McLaurin ran basically a crosser, deep crosser, gave him a little bit of a push off, and just caught it, moved the chains. So we'll have to kind of tighten that up. But short week, I think it'll be good tape against the Giants. They're playing well. They're playing hard. It's a divisional game. You never know. It's one of those kind of toss-ups. But, it'll be all right.
Definitely. Chad Inc. asked earlier today, thank you for marking this, Jake. Appreciate you. He says, is something wrong with Brinson or just a healthy scratch? I'm hearing it's a healthy scratch. I don't know if you guys are hearing anything else, but it sounds like Brinson was a healthy scratch. And that's why I mentioned, if you guys remember in camp, it seems like in terms of opportunities and reps, Nas Stackhouse had kind of leapfrogged Warren Brinson, right? Yeah. So on the depth chart. So I think it's more to do with that, the fact that Nas Stackhouse is more built to stop the run. And if Warren Brinson is further down the depth chart than your Kobe Woodens and your Devontae Wyatts and your Carl Brookses, those type of guys, all right, let's go ahead and deactivate Warren Brinson, make sure Nas is in the lineup and kind of go in that regard, I think would be the way to handle that. So hopefully that answers your question there, Chad. That's what I'm hearing. If anybody hears something different in the chat, let us know, man. That could be inaccurate too. So appreciate you, Chad. Wide receivers, Deebo Samuel here, six receptions for 58 yards, having a pretty good day at the office there, right? I didn't see the targets. If I could get it to spread, that ain't going to. Let me try to zoom out just a touch. No, still ain't going to work. I don't know how many targets he had, but he's leading the Commanders right now. So maybe Deebo Samuels was a good pickup. We'll see. Malik Neighbors, 5 catches for 71 yards. He continues to be a stud over there for the New York Giants as well. So anything else you boys want to add to the Commanders talk? Is obviously the Packers got them coming up next week.
I'll have to go back and check the tape later on this week. We won't have a lot of time to do it. We have to be a quick turnaround there on Chalk Talk. But
I mean, I watched most of that Commanders game, and honestly, it just looked like
cancel him.
There it is.
The team doesn't look very impressive at all. A lot of it is just Daniel scrambling and making something out of nothing with his legs. I think that if when we play them on Thursday, who would be the ideal linebacker to set up some sort of spy situation? Would you want it to be Quay, or would it be more of a Cooper or something like that? Like, I feel like if we were to assign not a full-on QB spy, but just somebody that maybe had responsibilities for him not breaking contain, because that seems like how they've been beating the Giants in the little ways they have been.
I completely agree. Now, the way I see that is I don't think it's a big misconception, and this isn't saying you think like this, Jacob, but when I hear other people talk about it, it's constantly, we need to put so-and-so spying the quarterback. You do that, and you just take this one player, and the whole game plan is you're just going to sit there in the middle of the defense and spy. You're setting yourself up for failure.
You do that, you're going to get your ass kicked in that.
That is correct, Coach. I think what you want to do in that scenario is whoever you have playing the hook curl, right, in the middle of the field, 1 second, heck, it might be the defensive edge, which, by the way, I seen TJ Watt drop into coverage earlier, and I was like, oh, Joe Barry. Is Joe Barry? Oh, no. But whichever defender you put in that hook curl, put emphasis on, hey, look, you got to make sure that Jaden Daniels doesn't run all over you, that type of thing, right? So that's the way I would approach it. So if you're playing a cover 3 buzz, hell, it might be the safety that buzzes the box, right? You might have Evan Williams. Listen, make sure you don't take your eyes off the quarterback. Yes, protect your zone, but you be ready to break if he tucks that thing to run. And then the other defenders in your defense need to be well aware and prepared that, hey, if he does do that and he does go after the quarterback and a spy, you got to be prepared to cover his zone a little bit as well. So that QB spy, I think it's Madden talk for the most part. People play that 2-man under spy. You know what I'm talking about, Emilio?
Yeah.
Anytime you get a scrambling quarterback.
But even that, you think about a 2-man under, you want 2 safeties, you want a guy spying, you could have 5 out in a route. You're only rushing 3 at that point.
Right.
I mean, you're not bringing the pressure that you think you are. So that's why you end up bringing 4. Then you lose contain. Then you start scrambling. So it's a numbers game at that point.
And we got an update from the Steelers-Jets game. The Jets are now leading 32-31. I think they might have missed the 2-point conversion from.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. So Aaron's going to have a shot here. Aaron Rodgers is going to have a chance with 7 minutes to go to lead them back down the field and give them at least a field goal to give them the lead. We got Tim joining us now, who was boots on the ground over at Lambeau earlier today. Tim, man, tell us what the environment was like, dude. What was it like over there at the hallowed grounds of Lambeau Field?
Pretty quiet pregame from those Lions fans that are out there. I don't think they're talking as much trash as they were talking last couple of years going into a game. But the vibe is strong. Got to shout out my cousins, Neil and Zach and Adam. Met them out there. Had a couple daddy sodas.
No, you did. You did not, Tim.
No way.
Oh, yeah, man. It was awesome.
Love to hear it, man. What's the weather like, dude? Is it just absolutely perfect, man?
Oh, yeah, it's perfect. Fall in Green Bay, man. You got to love it. It's like 60s right now. I'm sure it'll be a little cooler by the time everyone's walking out of the game, but beautiful day for football at Lambeau.
Oh, love to hear it, man. Love to hear it. I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful day for this guy to go out and have a damn ball game today as well. As you got Jordan Love on the field warming up. Bill Huber tweeted this out. Listen how quiet the box is.
See that C over there stitched on the right shoulder?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm hearing rumors that we have season-long captains now. Is that true? Has anybody
else?
It's
about damn time. I hope it's true.
I saw that in the chat. I thought Ron Sanville said something about that.
I think that maybe it's not the case, and the guys are just as surprised as we are. Tim just snuck in the locker room and said, I'm going to fix this right now. I'm going to sew the patch on myself. So I think that's what really happened. So I think we're all in agreement here. Jacob, do you agree? You want the season-long captains as opposed to, how we've done it here recently?
I want at least could you do like 4 tried and true season long and then do like a couple alternates or whatever? I'd be all right with that. But I want some captains to be solidified throughout the season. Yes.
Got it. Emilio, you agree, man?
Three captains for year long, 1 floater each game. That's kind of where
you know a lot about floaters.
That's where I would be. But because I mean, you want somebody that's going to be there I was listening to the Dallas pod a little while ago. They were talking, they have like 6 or 7 captains. They were like, well, there were just so many votes. We can't, not include them all. And it's like, no, I feel like you want to be able to go, Emmanuel Wilson's got something to say. Hey, let me just go to Love and tell him, or, you got somebody on defense. Home Depot's got an issue with something. All right, I'm going to go over to X and, hey, X, figure this out for me. What's going on? That's, I feel like you can be a little bit more set by that.
If you notice here too, as we pause this shot, he is still wearing the cast, the wrap, whatever you want to call it. He being Jordan Love on the left thumb. So, as Coach Lynn says, Love looks like he has a tape job on the thumb. That's obviously a little bit more, a little easier to manage, I would imagine, Tim, rather than having one of those big thick braces, right? So that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think we talked about that earlier in the week. That hopefully, from where it started to where it is today, we'd see it get, smaller and smaller, right? As far as the wrap and what he's got on there. It's not like being a D lineman or somebody where you can, put the foam in the club over the hand and just play ball. So seeing this makes me feel good, actually. I think he's going to be good to go. Obviously keep an eye on the exchanges and the snaps, those kind of things, but I think J Money's ready.
Yeah, I agree. And it looks like Matt Schneiden threw a tweet out here, Emilio. Look who just ran on the field just a few seconds ago. He said, you're unbelievable, man.
Only Emilio would say Travis Glover.
He said, Micah Parsons takes the field at Lambeau. So here you got Micah Parsons going out on the field. Again, this isn't the official introduction, but just getting out there. Him and Tucker Kraft dabbing up right there as he goes on.
You think Curly's smiling right now?
Oh, my God. Yes. He's like, let's let that dog wear our jersey.
Dude, he looks jacked up. He looks like the type of player that we need at the beginning of games that absolutely just gets these guys fired up, gets the piss hot. That's
got a little bit of that job mentality, Jacob. Walking in a little bit of swag. I mean, you don't know anything about swag, but walking in with a little bit of swag. He cracked his knuckles.
Wow.
Tim, what do you think, man? What are you expecting from Micah Parsons today, man? Let's say that he plays 80% of what a normal workload would be. Let's say that they kind of limit him roughly 20%. Do you think he has to have a sack to be a successful day, or do you want it to be something that, hey, look, let's just continue to move the quarterback off his spot top day? You know what I mean?
I'm with that, Clayton. I wouldn't put it past him to get there at least once, right? It's Micah Parsons, maybe a sack or a half a sack, but I don't think that's the barometer to judge his debut in Green Bay. I'd like to see, hopefully around that 20, 25 snap mark or something like that, pepper him in and see how he looks out there. But I think as long as he does what he does, we'll be fine. We just want to see what he looks like out there. I wouldn't want to make too many rushes to judgment. He's still the new kid on the block. We talked about it about 85% the way there, grasping this scheme and this defense and getting to know his teammates. I think he'll probably get there, make it interesting, keep Jared Goff guessing back there, and maybe a tip ball at the line or something. You never know, maybe even a pick. Who knows? But I think bottom line, he's ready to play. We can put all the rumors aside. He looks ready to go for sure.
Yeah. What do you think, Jacob? You getting excited yet to see number 1 out there, man?
Oh, I'm going to call some dinosaurs pretty quick here. Hey, just for take a quick second. We just crossed over 500 live viewers on all streaming platforms. If you guys could take a second to hit that like, share, subscribe. And then also the post-game show is going to be coming up. The link will be set on the page, I'm sure, pretty much after we end the live stream here. So if you guys could share that and maybe like on your Facebook, your X accounts, and tell people like, hey, we're going to be going live at the end, probably before the end of the game if it ends in a boat race, which I hope it will. And then that way we can get some more viewers and have a great, fun post-game show.
Yeah, definitely. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, appreciate everybody hanging out in here with it. Pre-game and post-game shows are some of my favorites, man. Yeah. This is just.
Clay, you see the walkout video Packers just tweeted?
I think so, yeah, with Jordan. I think you've seen what I just seen, too.
I've seen it.
Guy, let me pull it up. And, again, shout out to Big B. I didn't say that. Big B is the one who tweeted this video out right here, so make sure you guys go give him a follow as well. So, yeah, Emilio, I was trying to pull it up as you said it. Explain to everybody what you see in this picture, man, without giving it away too quick.
I mean, look at number 10 right there. Looking great. Got the C stitched on. Uh-oh, what's going on in the back there?
what's number 2? That second player there. What's he got on his chest?
Is that a C on the Tuck Norris? I'm gonna throw up.
Man, they got Gatorade lined up for that man in the back. I mean, he gets a touchdown. I want to see him shotgun one just as a nice selly, you know?
How cool is that, man? Tucker Kraft is a team captain. That is absolutely awesome. And again, man, those exit interviews, right? And the exit, with the locker clean out last year when they got beat, right, in the playoffs. He said, I'm gonna take on a larger leadership role with this team, and this ain't good enough. And it was almost like he was saying without saying, Tim, like that this didn't hurt enough for some people, you know, some players. Like, and he said he was going to assume more of a leadership role. That's a guy we haven't talked about at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and dominates today, especially if they start to clamp down on some of those crossers with Jaden Reed and they try to bracket cover Matthew Golden once he shows his speed a couple times. You got Romeo Dobbs working in the phone booth at X. Don't be surprised. All of a sudden, you got Tucker Kraft on these shallow crosses, these drag routes, right, that opens up, and he's the yak monster, man. When you think about Tucker Kraft being a captain, dude.
I love it. I've always felt like, at least this last offseason going into this year, that, you know, Tuck Norris is kind of like the Rashawn Gary of our offense. You know, he's not going to put up with any half-assing out there. He demands excellence, picks his teammates up, you know, much like we see Rashawn, much like you see with Tucker Kraft here walking out. Look at 85, all business. I mean, that looks like that's the same way Rashawn walks onto the field too, you know, all business all the time. So seeing the C on his chest makes a lot of sense. You know, when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, you know, Jay Money, obviously Tucker Kraft, and then, you know, maybe Josh Jacobs or, you know, one of those guys you would think would get the captain bars. But I'm happy to see it, man. Tuck's one of those guys that, you know, works very intensely, but doesn't also forget to have fun out there, you know. So that's who you want wearing the C on your chest for sure.
I know there was many people immediately thought, okay, well, who's the other captain? Thanks to shout out to Eric Upton, at ARRICK Upton GB over on X. It looks like we have Captain Patches back, and of course, this is Xavier McKinney is going to be your other captain. And we kind of give it to you. We led the show off with it, right? Jacob, Emilio, we're talking about, man, not many people are talking about Xavier McKinney, the fact that he is a captain as well. So it sounds like the 3 captains that are locked in for the season are Jordan Love, Tucker Kraft, and Xavier McKinney. Does anyone know if the players voted on it? Which is, I personally think that's the way it should be.
I've got it right here. Our resident expert here, Bates, says, according to the head coach Matt LaFleur's comments last week, the team is considering the option of season-long captains, but, and then it goes on to say, has instead established a leadership council with select players during the offseason to handle leadership responsibilities. This fits with the Packers' tradition of typically selecting captains on, he must give a length limit here. It says a game-by-game basis for the regular season. So it took us 3 comments to get there, but thank you, Bates. I appreciate it.
So that makes a lot of sense. This must be that leadership council then, right? These guys are wearing them week 1.
I think the leadership, and I could be, that's the first time I've heard that, Bates. Thank you for sharing that. And Tim, I could be completely wrong here. I feel like the leadership council is going to be separate. So maybe they are going to rotate captains and then they're just kind of picked. But the leadership council, Emilio, I don't know how much sports talk you've listened to in Knoxville. When Nico Iamaleava transferred, right, before he transferred to UCLA from the University of Tennessee, and bear with me for a second. They had a leadership council Josh Heupel put together, and it's led by Kitzelman, right? Their tight end in Tennessee, who's just an absolute ass kicker, right? They put this leadership council together, and Josh Heupel leans on them to go, hey, this is your team. Yes, I'm the head coach. I'm leading things. I got you. But the leadership council is what's going to determine and dictate how far this team goes and what's allowed and what isn't. So Boo Carter, one of the most electric kick returners you'll see in college football this year. I actually tweeted some clips out live in Neyland Stadium yesterday. He got in trouble skipping off-season program, and they said Kitzelman about killed him. So you want that leadership council. I love the fact that they put a leadership council together. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Emilio, does that sound like what you've heard in and around Knoxville as well? Yeah. And I love that the Packers are kind of going with that route. So it's huge.
Absolutely. Players being able to hold other players accountable is key. I mean, like we've talked about before, Matt can't be out there. Halfley can't be out there. You got to have somebody that's one of the 111 out there that's holding you responsible as well, because you never know You get heated, you get excited, you get out there, you start throwing hands. You're doing this, and that. You need somebody with a level head to kind of reel you in. But yeah, you want to also be able to go to them if you have a question, if you want something. You got to get something off your chest. We'll leave it to the guys that care about this team, that want to see us succeed, and kind of go from there.
Tim, how about this shot right here, man? You're gonna love this, dude. From NFL's X account. Look how crispy clear this is, boys. Look at the crowd filing in. You're going to have some shadows casting across Lambeau today, Tim. You see Micah Parsons up close and personal here. Man, so excited. How do you see this one, Tim? You think the Packers going to be able to pull out a dub today?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my opinion has not changed all week. I've been calling for a boat race. We're overdue. We've lost the last 3 in a row to Detroit at Lambeau Field. It's time to put a 35-13 ass whooping on them today. Love to see this up close look, though, too. Micah Parsons and the boys. And, of course, DC right there in the middle, Coach Covington. You see Coach Ogabasi in the back. Telling you, watch that D-line group. These guys are focused and they're playing together. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So let's just go around the horn, boys. How do y'all see it? How do we see it playing out here? And, again, this was tweeted out by NFL over on X. I want to give credit where credit's due there. I've kind of felt like – actually, let's hit this Soder chat. Don't let me forget. We're going to go around the horn with the rest of us about how we see this game playing out. Soder with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Everyone have a great day watching your Green Bay Packers beat the Detroit Lions. Go, Pack, go.
Let's go, Soder.
Love the confidence. I think it's going to be a close ball game, boys. And I'm telling you, if this was played in Detroit, I'd probably feel a little bit different. But the fact that it's at Lambeau, the Packers have been really, really good when they open at Lambeau. I know here recently all people have talked about is how bad we struggle early in the season. We get off the slow starts. We're always on the road. Wait, Emilio, do you know when was the last time we had a home opener? Do you remember?
7 years.
2018, I thought, right?
There you go. And I want to say they've won the last 15 home openers or something crazy like that? The Packers
that were at home?
Yeah, that were at home.
Yeah. I believe that's correct, right? So
yeah.
Let's get Matty Ice off to a good start.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, Emilio. What do you and I want to ask everybody in the chat. Yeah, give us your score predictions in the chat, gang. Me personally, I think it's going to be a field goal or less type game. I think the Packers come out on top here, but what do you think, Emilio?
I was thinking 27-20. I'd like a touchdown lead, but we need to get off to a good start. We need to put up a touchdown in the first quarter to get this team kind of ramped up. We cannot not have a touchdown before halftime.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. All right, Jacob, what about you, man? How do you see this one playing out, bro?
I think it's going to be 34-21 Packers. Come off to a kind of shaky start, pull away in the third quarter, coast throughout the fourth quarter. I want to see Jordan Love with at least 2 tuds. I want to see Josh Jacobs with 130 some odd yards rushing, 2 tuds. And McManus is perfect on the day. Defense looks studly. Micah Parsons comes away with 3 pressures, 1 sack, 3 tackles, maybe 1 for a loss. Adrian Cooper with 8 tackles, 5 solo, something like that. That'll do.
So what was your score again?
34-21.
Got it. 34-21. I like it, man. So the majority of everybody has got this, around a 7-point. Tim feels real confident. You guys are thinking somewhere around 7, and I'm saying it's a little closer than that. So that's awesome. As you can see here, the Pittsburgh Steelers have the football. They're at the Jets' 42-yard line. 2 minutes left in the game. We got a crucial 3rd and 11 coming up here. So just going to kind of keep our eye on this score right here.
Here's our boy. I was wondering if he was showing up. Kirby and Branch both get a pick. Hutchins, 3 sacks before halftime. I did see last night, Detroit Times tweeted out a picture saying Aiden Hutchinson got a haircut, and they said Packers better watch out because he said Barber hit me with that one all over. So, I mean, that's kind of scary, for Hutchins to do that,
And I don't know. I don't think this is a Lions fan. I think it just might be the name Lion in the Lamb 777. 27-24 Packers. He says, I'm trying to get
Rock a Packer fan.
Is okay. Rock Howard, what's your prediction for the game? I may have missed it there, man. I want to know what you think here.
I don't think he's predicted yet. He's just been saying stuff.
He says Jordan Love, no touchdowns and 2 picks and a butt fumble. Ooh, a butt fumble.
Hold on. Let me screen grab that. Let me hang tight, everybody.
Rock, make sure you come back, Bob.
Yeah, please please, man, listen, I promise you, if the Packers get beat by 40, we will be here doing a post-game show, okay? We're not going anywhere. But again, as I always say, if the Packers somehow win and you've been in here talking trash all week, I hope you got enough hair on your ass to show your face in here. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you drop back by the post-game show immediately following the game and get that strap. You know what I'm saying? Tim, I think you know what audio I need for this, sir. Just hit him with it one time just so he knows in case the Packers do win.
Wait, what?
Belt to ass.
Oh, that's the drop.
Belt
Okay,
to
we got
ass.
so many.
BTA. Know what I'm saying?
Tim's like, you got to help me out here, Clay.
I thought you were talking about this one.
Get over here. Belt to ass. BTA. Know what I'm saying?
That'll work too. So looks like did we get a field goal there? I think we did, right? Listen to me, I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh boy.
Here we go, 4th and 11.
Oh yeah, they got her.
Oswald.
Oh
Nailed
yeah.
it, baby. All
Right
right.
through the uprights, bud.
Yes, sir. So the Steelers are now leading 34-32. There's a minute left for the Jets to have a shot to go down and win this thing. So wait, how long are we from kickoff? 22 minutes? Is that right, guys? Or something like that?
Yeah.
All right, let's just hang around then. Is that cool with you guys? Y'all can hop off whenever you want to. I'm going to hang around for a few more minutes, see how this one ends up.
I'm gonna throw up.
Love it. All right. Let's see if there's anything else in the chat here. Jake, if you get anything marked or anything in there that you wanted to see, I don't see anything.
We've been keeping up with good flow, so there isn't anything really that we've been keeping up with the chat, surprisingly.
Gotcha. And again, if I said wrong there, I apologize. William Herman said Steelers, not Jets. The Steelers are leading that game, as you can see here. They had the ball. They kicked the field goal. It just hasn't re-upped yet here. There we go, 34-32 now. So look at that field goal going through the uprights.
Did you, by chance, I know you were obviously hosting the show, Clayton, but the pass that got him into field goal range, it was one of those crazy ricochet, pops off a defender, and just lucky. And then, of course, Rodgers comes in and does his Rodgers stuff, gets him in field goal range. I will tell you, I love Jordan Love, absolutely, but it is fun to just watch that old man just do his thing over and over and over. Even though they know exactly what's coming, he still finds a way to do it. Yeah,
no doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. I'll keep the eye on the score there. We'll drop that down for a second, as I don't think I've ever seen Lindsay Thierry, I think is how you, maybe Thierry. I don't know how you would say this, but she's throwing out some tweets here. Micah Parsons at Lambeau Field, loud ovation when he emerged from the tunnel, as you see Micah getting ready out here. That's another angle of what we were watching earlier from Big B. Really on the field. He looks like he's in great shape, man. He looks like he's good to go. I don't think there's going to be any limitations other than maybe him, like they said, what we hear earlier in the week, Emilio, Jacob, was it 80% of the defense he now has? He's pretty much learned 80%.
Yeah, it was definitely north
65%.
65%. That's what
I would guess now he's at the 90.
No, yeah, he pretty sure he did say 80%, and he'd have it at 100% by the end of this week, or definitely by next week's game. So,
Clayton and Tim, Mrs. Green asked the important question. She says, "Did we already do Ref Watch?"
It's Cleat. It's Cleat Blakeman.
Cleat Blakeman?
Good old Cleat and the crew. Yep.
I don't know.
So we got to get some statistics ran down. It's my fault. I've dropped the ball there. I need to run down all the stats on those guys from last year, and we'll try to keep up with it in real time as well. We like to just kind of know, all right, what officiating crew throws a lot of flags, what doesn't, who do we got this week, that type of thing. So we'll make sure. Did Rock ever give his prediction?
Oh,
Rock Howard. Did he give the prediction? I'm still not seeing
it. I did not.
How about these hands?
He's just talking a bunch of random smack, but no specifics. Weird.
All right. Well, I know this. Tim's got this queued up right here, sir. We've got this dirt bag ready to go. That's the dirt bag we're dealing with this week, right, Tim? That's him.
That's him, Mr.
Dirty
Cleat.
Son of a.
You think he's been working out in the off season?
A little baby biceps. You kidding me?
Doing
Those are injections.
that flag throwing workout. Yeah.
Those are injections.
Seriously.
You lie to your friends.
Get ready to go.
Ain't doing it. Ain't happening.
There it is.
Hey, we got him. There we go.
All right, let's screen grab it. Rock, if you get it right, sir, the Lions win. You drop back by the post-game show. There's no prizes, but we will definitely tip our cap.
No, but there could be a prize, Rock. If you would just go ahead and join PTA, either Patreon or on YouTube. You could actually get yourself entered in to win a LVN card. Come on now.
There you go. Rock Howard says 38-21 line. So that's what, a 17-point victory. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
That's why somebody mentioned he had been hitting.
I don't even know if their offense is going to put up 38 points. I'll be honest.
I love it, Emilio.
So in the
Love
last play of the drive here, the Jets had a 4th down. Justin Fields kind of put a hospital ball out to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson got absolutely sticked, drops the ball. Steelers go on to win.
Ooh, he got crushed.
No flag.
No flag.
No flag. Shouldn't have been, though. That's shoulder, right?
Yeah, that was a good hit. That was a damn
I
good
didn't
hit.
see it. I didn't see it. So that's good.
Yeah, it was good. Good square up. I understand why you asked him. It seemed like more times than not in those situations, right? A flag the game. So let's get this dirt bag off the screen. I'm tired of looking at it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Aaron defeats his old team, the New York Jets, and gets the victory there. Just want to see what the final box score is on Aaron, because he looked like a little closer to old Aaron today, as he finished 22 of 30, 244 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He took 4 sacks, however, but it looks like his top target, surprise, surprise, DK Metcalf, 4 catches for 83 yards on 7 targets. So he did force the ball over there a little bit. Calvin Austin III. Anybody know who the hell that is?
Yeah, he's a fantasy sleeper, man.
4 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown on 6 targets. So, so shout out to 12, now 8, formerly 12, now 8 in Pittsburgh. Hopefully we see them in the Super Bowl this year. That'd be absolutely awesome. So anything else, boys? Parting thoughts as we wrap this big bear up, man.
Beat Detroit. Beat Detroit. I don't care if we win by 1. Get the dub. Beat these little kitty cats at home. Finally. Let's go.
There you go. As we go around the league one last time, all right? One last time. Quick little rundown. The Falcons are beating the Buccaneers 20-17. However, Tampa has the football with 2 minutes left. The Commanders end up pulling away from the Giants. That looked a little more like what I expected, 21-6. The Commanders are beating the Giants, 2 minutes left. The Jaguars are beating the Panthers 20-3 in the third quarter. You've got the Broncos and Titans just kicked off. The Seahawks and Niners just kicked off, so we don't have anything there yet. And I believe we got some finals down here. The Bengals beat the Browns in a slobber knocker, 17-16. I don't know how many innings that game went, but then you got the Raiders defeated the Patriots 20-13 in New England. Cardinals beat the Saints 20-13 on the road there. So there's a couple of road wins there. Then the Steelers, like we said, on the road as well. So the Road Dogs pulling it out this week so far, guys. And the Colts just absolutely boat raced the Dolphins 33-8. So there's your quick little rundown across the league. Obviously, the Eagles in a spitting match beat the Cowboys 24-20.
Right. Did you see this? The Saints unis?
Were they nice? Were they clean?
They were like all gold up top with black. I was just wondering what the take was, but if you hadn't seen it, no worries.
Yeah, and I'm not a uniform guy either, Emilio. Like I know people get all fired up. I love it when they pay homage. Like I know Tim agrees too. When you go to the throwbacks, I really appreciate those and enjoy those. But like the new lavish, I don't know, man. I don't not like them. I'm just not that dude. They could be out there in t-shirts playing ball. I just want to watch the X's and O's unfold. You know, that's me. So, but all right, guys, that's it. We're out of here. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Had a bunch of people in here today. Thank y'all so much for joining the PTA pregame show. We'll be back immediately following the game for the PTA postgame show. I want to give a special shout out to Aaron Rodgers with the super chat and HE. So how about Aaron Rodgers throwing a super chat out there while he's playing football today? That was pretty cool. And then HE Solder with the super chat as well. Guys, just a reminder, if you want to support what we do here at PTA, go to Patreon, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. $3 get you access to all the extra content over there. And it also gets you entered into special giveaways where I'm giving pieces of memorabilia from my stash out. And yeah, basically put everybody's name on a wheel, spin that sucker at the end of our post-game shows. So we'll do one tonight. Anybody, you still got time to join Patreon to get yourself entered into that. If you're not familiar with Patreon, don't want to use Patreon, you can also support us here on YouTube. Just hit that join tab. I think it's around the same amount, $2 or $3. It just helps keep the lights on here. And then we try to give back to those who are supporting the channel every chance we get as well. So thanks everybody in the chat. This was fun. We'll see y'all immediately following the game. Go Pack, go. Let's go get this dub at Lambeau.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.